Hi, my name is Chidi Erike, and today's ads delivery discussion is a training session for advanced marketers. I'll start with a basic overview and then provide several advanced steps for marketers before going into the live Q&A. A few housekeeping items. Please make sure to submit your questions throughout the webinar in the chat box below the video. This webinar will be recorded and sent to all registrants a few days after the webinar. You can also find it on Blueprint, our e-learning platform, by going to facebook.com/blueprint/webinars. Lastly, we will be launching a survey at the end of this webinar. We greatly appreciate your feedback. This will help us to continue to improve and create better content for you. With that said, let's get started. Our delivery system takes into account what people want to see in the context of an advertiser's desired outcome. It helps make it easier for advertisers to reach their audience and use their budget efficiently. This system has to find the most relevant ads to show people at mind-boggling scale and speed, tens of billions of auctions every day, in a split second to deliver an impression for each one. So we understand the delivery system to be this powerful algorithm that maximizes results for each impression shown. But it's really not just one system, but rather three components that make up delivery as a whole. The first component is the auction, where we rank ads targeting a given person and find the most relevant one that maximizes value for both advertisers and people. The second component is our auction budget optimization, or AKA the pacing system, where we aim to maximize advertiser value over the duration of your ad set and over many ad opportunities. Finally, the third component is advertiser set controls that guide our auction and pacing systems. These include targeting, budget, bid, placement, and schedule inputs. Advertisers should be thoughtful when selecting options within each of these areas, as narrowing targeting and placement, or setting lower bids, for example, limit the options the delivery system has to explore, yet can also help our system get you the most value given your objectives if set appropriately. In this overview, we will focus on the first two components mostly, the auction and our pacing systems. We aspire to know both what is good for advertisers and appealing to people, and to make this core to how delivery works. Facebook's delivery system matches relevant ads to the right people at the right time and is constantly learning from what advertisers share about their audience and from how people interact with ads and businesses on Facebook. A clear understanding of the advertiser's intended business result helps the delivery system show ads to people that are most likely to engage with that ad, have a positive experience, and take the action the advertiser wants. The system also learns what makes negative ads experiences and applies those learnings to improve ad quality. That's what the auction is in a nutshell. It's a system that ranks ads targeting a given person and finds the most relevant one that maximizes value for both advertisers and people. The auction is designed to create the most value for people and businesses. How do we do this? At the highest level, our ad auction is built to balance two fundamental goals, which is maximizing advertiser value and creating an optimal experience for the Facebook consumer. There are short-term wins we could be going after today in terms of showing more ads per session to users or charging a markup to advertisers above what we understand the true value we're providing to them should be. But we stay focused on the long term. In doing so, we believe we can grow the pie in terms of seeing more advertisers getting value from Facebook and more people using Facebook. We understand that advertisers are unique and oftentimes focused on several different types of actions. One might be optimizing for video views, one for app installs, or one for website conversions. Each advertiser trying to show an ad to the same person. With all these different bids and optimization goals, you may be wondering, how do we figure out which ad to show? We do this by converting every bid to an impression-based bid. And then we also factor in ad relevance and quality factors to protect the consumer experience. For every ad targeting a person, Regardless of what type of bid and objective it's using, we calculate a total value in order to rank it against other ads targeting the person the ad is eligible to receive. The highest total value is going to win the auction for that person at that moment in time. I always get amazing questions from this slide, and I see them starting to come in quickly, so please keep them coming. We calculate total value based on three primary variables: the advertiser bid, estimated action rates, and the user value. The advertiser bid can be for one of a number of actions, whether that be clicks, conversions, or app installs. Estimated action rates are based on many factors, which I will speak about in more detail throughout this presentation. However, one thing to keep in mind is that after some initial exploration, the most important factor will be the performance we see on that specific ad. So as you consider campaign setup, think about how you can get good conversion data on individual ads in order to ensure you'll get good and consistent performance. Last but not least, we have the user value, which is how useful or interesting we believe a given individual is going to find a given ad. This is based on positive and negative feedback signals, which include likes and shares as positive signals and X-outs as negative signals. Note that this mix continues to evolve over time as we continue to find ways to create the best consumer experience for people on Facebook. So you have three components of the total value: advertiser bid, estimated action rates, and user value. You can start to understand some implications. A very relevant ad with a low advertiser bid could still have a high total value. A high advertiser bid paired with a low expected click-through rate or conversion rate can result in a low total value. As I mentioned earlier, the ad with the highest total value wins the auction for the targeted individual. To conclude, an ad that's very relevant to that person could win the auction, but if another ad with similar relevance to the same person is placed with a higher bid and higher estimated action rates, then that ad may win over the first ad. We've talked about how auction system is built to max advertiser and consumer value with every ad we show. That's one axis along which our delivery system works to maximize value. We also aim to maximize advertiser value over the duration of your ad set. Over the lifetime of your campaign and over many, many ad opportunities, pacing finds the best opportunities to show an ad to people at the most effective price levels in order to maximize value for advertisers. This is a visual representation of the outcomes available to you over the duration of your campaign. Price per outcome on the y-axis, time elapsed on the x-axis. Let's say you've set a manual maximum bid. So outcomes above this price you set via your bid are not available to us. And those below are. If we didn't manage budget and went after all the opportunities we could afford, given the constraint of your bid, there would be millions of opportunities to show your ad in a day. We could spend the full budget too early in the campaign, potentially missing out on other, more cost-effective opportunities later on in the campaign. Also, most advertisers have an expectation that budget will be spent relatively evenly over the course of a campaign and not exhausted early on one day, which would probably be unprofitable. Therefore, many ad platforms have a way to smooth out this spend over the course of a campaign. One way some ad platforms manage budget to achieve even pacing is called probabilistic throttling. To achieve even pacing, this approach would take your full max bid and enter it into only a subset of auctions your ad can be considered for throughout the day. Depending on how much you're spending versus how much of your campaign lifetime remains, you're randomly held back from entering some subset of these auctions. that means there are potentially cost-effective outcomes that you are missing out on. On Facebook, we use an approach called discount bidding. Over the course of the campaign, we don't systematically eliminate opportunities that your ad can be considered for. As in the probabilistic throttling approach, your ad stays eligible for more of these opportunities, and as we enter each auction, we calculate a best response bid that will ensure we will just spend your budget in full over the duration of the ad set. Based on how much of the budget has been spent so far versus the time elapsed in the campaign, the best response bid for a particular auction might be higher or lower. But if you're using a max bid, our best response bid will respect that max bid. The mechanism of lowering your bid to a level that will just spend out your budget over the duration of your ad set means that you have a chance to capture more outcomes at more efficient cost over the course of your campaign. So, if you're spending too fast at any point, we will lower the best response bid. If spending too slowly, we will raise it up to a point where we are entering all auctions with your full bid. If spending at the rate that is just right, we'll keep the best response bid where it is. So what this means is that Facebook's approach to pacing, the discount bidding method, yields better total cost efficiency than the probabilistic throttling approach used on other ad platforms, where your full bid is entered into a subset of available auctions. Our discount bidding pacing system gives more total cost efficiency for advertisers because it finds the most cost-effective users first. But keep in mind that average costs are expected to rise as budgets increase. On the other hand, probabilistic throttling delivers a higher cost per result to begin with, but that will be relatively stable as your budget increases. It's a trade-off. More total cost efficiency over the duration of the campaign versus cost predictability as you scale budget upwards. So when you observe cost per result on Facebook rising with an increase in budgets, you can assume our pacing approach is at the core of this. In some cases, advertisers may value cost stability over pure total cost efficiency. We are investigating ways we might offer a probabilistic pacing option for these specific use cases. Now here are some powerful tips to maximize delivery in the ads auction. Advertisers come to Facebook with many different business goals in mind. As an advertiser, it's important to select the campaign objective and ad set optimization goal for your ads that most closely align with the things you're really interested in. We compare all of these bids for different events, apples to apples. Facebook helps get return on ad spend by thinking about the most efficient way to move people from one step of the funnel to the next. So we capture the right level of intent and charge based on the person's likelihood to take action at that level and the advertiser's goals. When advertisers share data about who their audience is and express their true business objectives, our system can learn from these components to determine the right person to show the ad to. This is done by matching the person and their expected action with the ad matching that action. To help the system understand and work for your intended outcomes, we recommend giving the system as much data as you can allow. In addition, avoid taking substantial corrective actions. This will cause volatility before our system can reach your intended outcome. Our delivery system works to find the best results based on an advertiser's goals, while taking in constraints that an advertiser sets, like defining an audience, placement, budget, and bid. We recommend setting fewer constraints and only using them when there's a business justification to do so. For example, bidding your true value based on your break-even point, or bidding differently for multiple audiences with significantly different value to your businesses. Be aware of the constraints you set on an ad set. A liquid situation helps the delivery system work better on your behalf. Additionally, targeting expansion is another way to grant more freedom to our delivery system to optimize for better results. This new feature is mostly for direct response advertisers and is available for website conversion and mobile app install campaigns. For advertisers looking for conversions, the delivery system needs time to find the people who are likely to take the action your ad set is optimized for. It is likely that results will be more volatile during this exploration period as the system is calibrating the best results for an advertiser's desired outcome. Generally, the more conversions the system has, the more accurate our estimated action rates will be for a given person. At around 20 to 25 conversions per week, the system is well calibrated and progresses from the exploration stage to optimizing for the best results given the audience and desired outcome. To maximize delivery, the bid, budget, targeting, schedule, and placements that you set on an ad set are all constraints. Set the right bid, whether that be automatic plus manual or within manual, max, and average. Choose the right audience. Targeting tells who you want to show your ad to, but also who you don't want to show your ad to. Be mindful of audience overlap. Deduplication is when an advertiser runs ads targeting the same people. We only enter one ad into the auction for an individual, which is the highest ranking ad. This is great because it prevents advertisers from bidding themselves up. However, a high deduplication rate is not necessarily bad, but could cause under-delivery issues and/or limit how much ad set level conversion data we can use to make conversion estimates. If delivery or low conversion rates are an issue, you can consolidate ad sets with overlapping audiences. If warranted, use exclusion targeting. For example, if a 1% lookalike audience overlaps with an 18 to 65 plus audience, consider excluding the 1% lookalike from the 18 to 65 audience ad set. I cannot stress the following tip enough. Pay attention to the user experience. Monitor feedback and improve your landing page by optimizing for mobile. Remember, positive and negative feedback can be found in the user interface. Delivery Insights is a self-serve product that alerts you of significant shifts to delivery or performance and surfaces auction metrics and a dashboard that can be used to explain what caused those shifts and how to address them. Delivery Insights focuses on activity history, auction overlap, and audience saturation to explain shifts in delivery or performance and take action. Activity history makes it easy to determine whether a recent bid, budget, or ad set status change correlates with a delivery or performance shift. If so, consider reverting the change or creating a new ad set. Auction overlap is when multiple ads are eligible for the same auction. This is caused by audience overlap between ad sets. Take action by consolidating an ad set with a high dedupe rate into an overlapping one with equal or better performance, using audience exclusions, or just monitoring for impact on delivery or performance if there's business justification for overlap. Audience saturation is the point at which your performance starts to drop as your ad frequency rises. If your first-time impression ratio is low and the outcomes you care about are declining, it may be time to change your creative or targeting. Estimated daily results is a curve and slider bar tool that estimates the number of daily results that you may get for an ad set given your budget and other input parameters. Use estimated daily results to help get more context on the number of results you might get given your budget and to set budget, targeting, placement, bid, and schedule parameters based on the results you want to achieve with Facebook ads. So to summarize the 8 tips I just went over. Number 1, reach business objectives by sharing intended outcome goal. Number 2, set fewer constraints to allow the system to explore more options in order to get the best results. Number 3, select broader targeting options or enable targeting expansion to explore more options. Step 4, feed more conversion data into the delivery system to help the system deliver the best results. Step 5, select flexible placement options like Instagram and Audience Network. Step 6, pay attention to the user experience, monitor feedback, and improve your landing page. Step 7, understand how to improve ad delivery and performance with Delivery Insights. Step 8, make more informed delivery control decisions with estimated daily results.